I was a student for the past 3 years. I truly enjoy learning new things every day continuously, while still being bad at some subjects. But one thing never changes. I was extremely bad at organizing my life. I had no system, no apps, not even the idea to start a productive journey. But today, things significantly changed. I have not doubled, but tripled my working time. I went from working 40 hours a week to 100 hours a week now. Hi, Jared here, and today let's talk about productivity. So first, I will talk about the most efficient way to organize your life, and then I'll break down my essential apps in my day-to-day life. And first, how to keep your life organized. When I say productivity, I mean doing the same task that I've done previously, but in a more efficient way. The goal will be to simply decrease the amount of time it takes me to do the task, which would allow me to either do more in the same time frame or to do something else instead. And this is a powerful skill I've learned. Because of this, I can now spend more time doing the things I actually enjoy while spending less time doing the things I do not. I can also spend more time with my family, learning new stuff every day, watching a movie, or getting more sleep, for instance. Okay, so let's start with one of the most important apps that speeds up my thinking process. So you need to build a system to first collect your ideas and then store them in order to repurpose them later. And you have probably heard about the saying, your mind is for having ideas, not holding them, right? It is from David Allen. And that's right, our minds are not meant for the endless storage of facts and figures, especially in a world where we can capture all of that information externally via apps and good old-fashioned pen and paper. But I don't carry 1,000 tons of paper every day, so I use a to-do list app called Todoist, and I've tested a lot of them throughout the month, and I've kept this one for around 1 to 2 years now. It is so powerful that this app alone is enough to organize your whole life. Simply tap the plus button, then type in whatever you want to remember, so task, event, random thoughts, whatever you want. And a highly useful tip, by the way, if you want to be reminded, say tomorrow, just tap somewhere the day you want to be reminded. And good news, it is available on Android, iOS and your own desktop. Okay, so we now have the app to capture all that information, so we don't have to remember thousands of things every single second. But how do we make time for what matters now? In other words, how can we organize our lives so that everything blends seamlessly together? Well, the answer lies in a calendar. Calendars are useful tools for keeping track of upcoming meetings, deadlines, and milestones. It can also help you visualize your schedule and remind you of important events such as holidays and vacation time, of course. And above all, I would say that it helps us prioritize which tasks are important, which tasks add value to our lives, and which ones do not. Putting items on the calendar makes us choose what we want to spend our time on and also what we do. And if something is on the calendar today, that means I have something to do. But if nothing is on the calendar today, that means I do not have anything to do. That's simple. And I use Google Calendar for that. It is simple to use as well as reliable and efficient. Having Google Calendar is also a bonus for me, since I use other Google apps on my phone and my computer. So all of them work seamlessly across virtually all of my devices. But you could use a physical calendar, Notion, Microsoft Calendar, Apple Calendar, and so on. It does not matter as long as you have at least one to use. Now, this one is important for me because it represents the evil I've always tried to fight unsuccessfully. Until recently, when I started to sort every important file that I have. And nope, I'm not talking about Notion. Technically, you have Windows 10 or Windows 11 that is highly useful, right, for this kind of stuff. It comes with multiple named folders, which gets you straight to the point, right? Like Documents folder, Downloads, Music, Pictures, and Videos. You can personalize it however you want, with whatever file you want, as long as it fits into your drive, of course. But I think that Windows, Mac or your phone are only great if it is to store files for the long term, like videos and so on. What if you wanna access your list of books, your journal, or whatever between your phone and computer? That's why I use Google Drive. It helps me create multiple folders when I can store my Google Docs, for instance, Google Sheets, anything related to Google in fact. Also my workouts, my journeys, my books reading list, and so on. Moreover, as a content creator, I found that using using Google Drive as well as other Google apps helps me create stuff more efficiently while being able to work on only one app anywhere in the world. I could use Notion, right, but you have to use the paid version to work with other people. Okay, finally I would like to talk about an app that changed the way I learn. I literally cannot spend a day without reading something, whether it is on my phone or my book. I have to learn something, otherwise I don't feel fulfilled. Which brings us to Adobe Acrobat Reader. It is by far one of the best apps I've ever downloaded on my phone. It lets you read a book in PDF in dark mode, resize that text, but also highlight anything you want. Do not get me wrong, a book is great, but I cannot carry 1,000 of them in my pocket. By the way, I would say that this app comes handy only if you do not have any money to invest in a Kindle or any e-reader of your choice. Now, I do own an Amazon Kindle, and I have to say that I love my purchase. Great battery life and huge storage capacity. But even after that purchase, I still sometimes use the app on my phone, simply because some content can only be read on the phone, like visuals from a book. But otherwise both are a must-have. And there is nothing much to say. It is a solid investment with an impressive return on capital. So what do you think about my best apps about productivity? Would you have anything else to recommend? And I would be interested to know your points of view. Thanks so much for watching. Feel free to leave a comment down below, subscribe if you want to see more, and as always, I will see you in the next one.